Good morning, Green Spring. Once again, I'm your host, Avan Price here. Welcome to another Village in Motion. I have two lovely ladies who are trying to help me find the perfect gift for Mother's Day, because I have yet to find it. But we're not going to focus on that now. We're going to talk about home health, and I have Henna Ali, and then I have Ty Goreski.
Oh, no.
Ty
Gorecki.
Gorecki. Oh, I thought I had it too. Sorry. But these are the two ladies who are going to give us updates on the different services they provide here at Green Spring in the home support area. So I'm going to talk first with you, Henna. So why don't you introduce yourself to the community and what's your role here?
So my name is Henna Ali. I'm a physical therapist by background. I've been with Green Springs for less than 3 months.
Oh.
I work in, and actually so does Ty. So I work in a home health department as well as in Garden Ridge and outpatient. Mm-hmm. So I work everywhere.
So what do you kind of specialize in doing? Like, is there like particular thing you do, or?
So we do therapy in home care. The purpose is that when the person has been hospitalized, they get really weak, and then when they come back to their home apartment, it's very different and a little difficult for them. Mm-hmm. Right? Would you? So, so we provide physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy to them.
Okay. Can you kind of clarify, you said occupational therapy. Now, is that talking about like the daily living, like different things like you just do on a regular basis, like cooking, cleaning,
Correct.
stuff like that?
Yeah, so occupational therapy, I like to say that they are the occupation of daily living, like you said, so dressing, being able to cook simple meals, being able to shower safely, and they also recommend special equipment for the home to help you stay in the home safely.
Okay. Were you about to say something?
So I was just going to add, so that would include something like, let's say their toilet is too high or too low for them. Mm-hmm. They also look at the adaptive equipment, and as well as physical therapy. We will look at their bed height. Mm-hmm. Is it too high for them or too low for them? Same for chair. We like to see that they have straight backs, they have armrests for support, and safety. So that would be our main focus, would be safety, strengthening, and coming back to the previous level of functioning. So basically that would be our focus and goal for therapy services.
Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. So I'm trying to make sure I wrap my head around this. So after a resident has dealt with some physical, medical issues, y'all provide services where you can actually go in their apartment and like kind of evaluate their daily living to see, will this function properly for their lives? Do they have the right equipment and stuff like that? So that's
Correct.
what you do.
Correct. So that would be the occupational therapy part, what we discussed. For physical therapy, we'll make sure that they have like the right walker or a cane or wheelchair or scooter, whatever device that they are comfortable with and safe with. Are they able to go to the community? Are they able to go? So first we'll focus within the apartment. Make sure they can go to the bathroom. Make sure they can go into the kitchen and do a light meal prep if that's what they were doing, and function within the apartment with safety. After they have done that, then we'll start going out into the community, making sure they can make their way to the dining room like they did before. Again, whether it be a motorized scooter or walker or a cane, whatever is safe for them.
Okay. Now you talked about physical therapy. Can you kind of describe what kind of things happen in physical therapy? Because honestly, when I think of physical therapy, I'm thinking of like a deep tissue massage. And I don't know if that's totally accurate. So can you kind of describe what kind of things happen in physical therapy?
That's like the farthest thing that we would see. Basically, the physical therapy we deliver has to be, it's regulated and reimbursed by Medicare. Okay. So I assure you that Medicare will not reimburse us for any kind of massages. So that does not fall in the realm of our services. Okay. However, let me just explain. So in the outpatient setting, we do what we call like a myofascial release massage. So that can be loosely termed as massage, but it's really not a massage, like you're expecting a massage. So we do mostly focus on therapeutic exercises, strengthening exercises, stretching exercises, that's what's needed, endurance training, balance training, sitting balance, standing balance training, what else? Gait training, again, safety education. Sometimes the residents are not aware, they feel like they can do whatever they were doing prior to hospitalization, they think that they can just do that. Let's say if they've had, God forbid, a stroke, and they try to get up from the chair and they don't have that leg strength that they did before, they're going to fall down and there's going to be another, a problematic event there. So we focus on, again, balance, strength, endurance, safety, and then again, we also look at their apartment to make sure that they have safe environments. So there are no loose ends of, like doormats or clutter in the house. So we do look at that as well.
Okay, so another question I have, and then we're going to go to the speech portion. Does a resident have to have an injury to seek out physical therapy, or do they have to have had an injury, or can they just, just one day decide, let me go get tested if I need physical therapy? Can they do that?
Yeah, so it's a very good question. So in order to even have a physical therapy order, you have to have a physician's referral order. So the physician has to start this process.
Okay.
So the physician will decide. It doesn't have to be a hospitalization or a really bad event. It can be just that the physician has observed that this resident has declined, even gradually. So this resident doesn't have to have a hospitalization. The physician, during their visits, and we've had residents like that during their visit with the physician would think that this person would need physical therapy, a little more intense occupational therapy, or even speech therapy for that reason. So the physician can start that eval at any point. But it has to be started by a physician for it to be reimbursed for Medicare, and also for our therapy regulations. There has to be a doctor's order.
So I can't just wake up and say I have a crank in my leg and then walk into physical therapy.
Yeah.
I need to get the doctor to say that there's a real problem,
Right.
and then I can get the physical therapy.
That is correct.
All right, and then it's not getting a deep tissue massage.
It's not that, I assure you.
Okay. Now, I've been here for 3 years, and one thing I know about the residents is that they like to talk. And so we're going to talk a little bit about speech therapy. So I'm going to hand it over to you, and I want you to say the full title like you told me before we went on camera.
Okay. So my name is Ty Gorecki, and I'm a speech language pathologist.
All right.
And we help people with their thinking, their reasoning, their memory, problem solving, their actual speech, like if they have weakness speech, poor articulation, their voice, and swallowing. So that's my short version about what we do. Typically we see people that have had brain injuries, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, ALS, or they've had general weakness and they start having difficulties with their swallowing. Or they come home from the hospital and their memory just isn't as good as it was before. So we come in and do an evaluation, determine what their needs are, and those needs can change over the course of treatment. So for example, if I have someone I'm working with their memory and they start talking to me about their difficulties with their voice, I'll talk to them and talk to the doctor about having an order to do an additional evaluation to evaluate their voice and help them in all the areas that I can. The thing with home health is they have to be considered homebound.
Okay.
So you can go to the dining room, go to your doctor's appointments, but it must be hard to get out of the apartment to go places. So no shopping, no bridge while you're considered homebound.
Now this might sound like a duh kind of question, but how does memory and your voice and talking relate to one another?
So it depends on the diagnosis. So someone with Parkinson's disease, as they have Parkinson's and it progresses, they'll have they may have difficulties with their memory and their problem solving, and another aspect of the disease is difficulties with their voice, a very quiet, low, rushed voice, which can make them sound more sick than they actually are.
Okay.
And so we can do different exercises to improve the voice. The big thing with working with problem solving and memory is to increase someone and maintain their independence in the home, making sure they can get to their appointments on time, safety in the home. When do I need to call for assistance? When do I need to sit down? Have I written my checks out today? Am I able to balance my checkbook? Those things that are so important to manage our day-to-day life. With swallowing therapy, sometimes people, they have weakness, they have one of these other they have a stroke, Parkinson's, ALS, things like that, and they start coughing while they're eating and drinking. And that's a sign or symptom of aspiration.
Okay.
Aspiration is when foreign substances go into the lungs. Like, I'm sure you've had it. When things go down the wrong pipe, start coughing.
Yeah.
Right. So, but if it stays in the lungs, it can result in pneumonia.
Oh, that's not good.
So, yeah. So sometimes we have to, we recommend altered diet, thickened liquids, softer foods. But our goal is always to get people back to their regular diet so they can enjoy their food and enjoy the social aspect of eating with others.
You talked a little bit that you have exercises that help progress. Can you kind of give examples?
For
or talk
like
the
so with memory, we do a program called Space Retrieval Strategy. So repeat information after a very short delay, so immediate, then 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, and so on. And the true test is if someone remembers the information we practice on during the next session. So it's showing that they are learning new information. We also have people write down daily events, what they did during the day, because the act of writing and reviewing what they've written helps them improve their memory also. Vocal exercises to improve increased loudness, loud ahs and e's and pitch glides up and down to improve that breath support.
Okay.
And then we also train for swallowing, safe swallowing strategies, small bites, small sips, alternating liquids and solids, and then exercises to strengthen the swallow muscles also.
Okay. And I'm hoping that when you're doing these memory exercises, you can differentiate between like someone who just, like me, I can forget a name in like 2 minutes. But I would hope I don't have like dementia or memory issues. So I'm
Right,
sure
we do standardized testing
Okay.
to evaluate each person we work with
Okay.
and see where their strengths and areas of growth are.
Okay. Now, when someone is going through the process, whether it's speech, whether it's physical or occupational therapy, is there a time limit that they have in having one of you there, or they just have it as long as they need it?
So home health, the certification is for 60 days from the
Okay.
time of admission, and we reevaluate after 30 days. So we come in, we evaluate, we determine we want to see this person 2 times a week for 4 weeks, or nursing may want to see someone 3 times a week for 2 weeks, 1 time a week just to follow up. But if someone needs to continued care, then we can fill out the paperwork and request to see them for longer.
Okay.
And then when we discharge, sometimes we recommend going over to outpatient therapy at Hunter's Crossing.
Okay, good. Now I see that we have about a minute left. I want to leave you saying if you want to add one more thing before we leave. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I think we kind of covered it. It's just that for home therapy, like Ty was saying, a person has to be homebound to receive home health therapy services. But if they're not homebound, they can always have outpatient physical therapy, occupational therapy, or speech therapy in the outpatient setting as well.
All right. Well, that's good to know. I see I've learned a lot today. Thanks so much for coming on. Happy Mother's Day to you. I hope you have a good weekend.
Great, thank you.
I'm going to find that Mother's Day gift hopefully sooner than later. All right. Thank you for coming on.